Hello students, so today we will be discussing some of the important MCQs. Okay, so I have made or I have prepared 15 MCQ from your chapter number 5, that is acids and bases and salt, acid, bases and salt. Okay, and some of the questions I have already given you, and I have also asked you to write the answers. Okay, and I have seen that many of you have made some common mistakes during this. Okay, so today I will be discussing the answers of those. Okay, so before going into this video, one thing I want to request you all, that whenever you study the chapter, please try to make your concepts clear. Okay, only then you will be able to give the question and answers properly. Okay, so do not simply by heart. Okay, by heart the question answers, because the question answers which are given in your book, those question answers will not be directly given in your exams. Okay, so to give the answers of the question, you have to understand the concept. Okay, so you have to know what is acid, what is base, which indicator is what is the change of the color of the indicator in presence of acid or in presence of base. So you have to know all these things. Okay, if you simply by heart the question answers, it will not help. Okay, so now let's start the video. So the first question is, which of the following is not an indicator? Okay, so first read the question carefully. What it is asked, that which of the following is not an indicator. Okay, so we know cyanurose is an indicator. Okay, we know that it gives different colors in presence of acid and in presence of base. We know turmeric is also an indicator. Phenolphthalein is also an indicator. But tamarind, so tamarind is a fruit, yes, and we know that tamarind has tartaric acid. Okay, so I have written this down in the blue colored box. You can see that tamarind has tartaric acid. So since it has a acid, so it cannot be an indicator, because indicator changes color in presence of acid or base. Okay, but tamarind itself, it contains an acid, so the answer of this question will be tamarind. Okay, so this is the correct answer. Okay, for question number 1. Okay, so I think it will be very clear, because tamarind itself is an acid containing fruit. It is a, therefore it itself contains tartaric acid, so it is not an indicator. Okay, next question number 2. What happens when turmeric is added to a glass of lemon water? We know turmeric is a indicator. Okay, and many of you have given answers that we will see no change in color. Okay, but what I have given, you read the question first. What will happen when turmeric is added to glass of lemon water? So lemon water is colorless, yes, and we know whenever we add turmeric in anything, we will get a yellow color solution, and if it is added to a base, we will get red color solution, yes, reddish brown color. But we know that lemon water is acidic. Okay, it contains citric acid. Okay, so therefore we know that whenever turmeric is yellow colored solution and whenever acid is added to it, we will see no change in color. That means the color of the solution will remain yellow. Okay, but if you are adding turmeric to any solution, you will get a yellow color solution. Okay, if it is not a base. If it is a base, only then you will see reddish brown color. Okay, so in this case the answer will be color becomes yellow. Okay, so you can try this at home. Take few drops of lemon juice, add water to it, and then you can add turmeric powder to it. You will get a yellow colored solution, because if you add turmeric to anything, you will get yellow color, but if the substance is base, then only you will get a reddish brown color change. Okay, clear? So if you do the reverse, that is, you are having a turmeric solution, that is, if you have already mixed turmeric with water, you will already get yellow color solution, and if you then add the lemon juice, then you will see that the yellow color, there is a no change in the yellow color of the solution. Okay, but if you add turmeric to lemon juice, you will see that the color of the solution will remain yellow. Okay, or the color will become yellow. Okay, so the fourth option is correct, that the color of this lemon water will be yellow when turmeric is added to it. Okay, so now the third question, when shampoo solution is tested with litmus paper, which of the following observation is correct? So we should, before answering this, we should know that shampoo is a basic in nature. That means shampoo contains base. Okay, and we know that when a red litmus paper comes in contact with base, it is changed into blue color. Okay, so you can see none of the option here contains that red litmus paper changes to blue. Okay, so we cannot use red litmus, because in this option we do not have that red litmus paper changes to blue. That should be the correct option, but that option is not present in these four options. Okay, so now you have to see what are the other options. The first option is that blue litmus paper turns to red. So this is wrong, because blue litmus paper will only turn to red when there will be acid, but in shampoo we have base. So first option is wrong. Now look at the third option, that red litmus paper remains red. So red litmus paper will remain red only in presence of acid or in presence of a neutral solution. Okay, so if you put red litmus paper in an acidic solution or in a neutral solution, only then red litmus paper will remain red. Okay, and the fourth option is completely wrong, because litmus paper cannot turn into yellow color. Okay, so the only correct option is blue litmus paper remains blue, because if you put blue litmus paper in a base, you will see no change in color, because we know that only red litmus paper will change into blue in presence of a base, but blue litmus paper will never change into any other color in presence of a base or neutral solution. So the correct option will be the second option. Okay, that means blue litmus paper remains blue, because when you put blue litmus paper to a base, the color will not change, but if you put red litmus paper in a base, the color will change to blue. Okay, so this is also a very simple question answer if your concept is clear. Next, fourth. So this is directly given from your book. In your book itself you have the answer, that's which of the following acid help in growth and development of the body, and the answer is amino acid. Okay, so here if you look at the second point, you have this. Okay, and that all kinds of proteins are made up of amino acid, and it is the amino acid which help in growth, development and repair of our body cells. Okay, so in point number 2, it is clearly given in the book that amino acid help in growth and development and repair of our body. Okay, so the answer will be amino acid. The fifth one is very simple. You have the chemical formula given, HCPO4, and this chemical formula belongs to phosphoric acid. Okay, now question number 6. So which acid is present? So we know that acids are which are present in living organisms like plants, animals, and in some different fruits are known as organic acid. Okay, but we also know that there is one mineral acid which is also present in living organism. Okay, so if you see clearly in the chapter, it is written that the gastric wall of your stomach, of our stomach, it produces hydrochloric acid. Yes, and hydrochloric acid is a mineral acid. So that means the mineral acid which is also found in living organism will be hydrochloric acid. If you look at the book, you will see that hydrochloric acid is an example of mineral acid. And when you have studied about indigestion, there you will see that stomach walls produces gastric juices, and in these gastric juices we also have hydrochloric acid. So that means in our body, in our stomach, we have hydrochloric acid. Okay, so that means we can say that hydrochloric acid can also be found in living organism. So hydrochloric acid is the only mineral acid that is found in living organism. Okay, question number 7. So what are the most common bases in antacid? So when you have learned about the indigestion, you have seen that to relieve the acidity in our stomach we use antacid. Okay, and in this antacid we have milk of magnesium. Okay, so this milk of magnesium contains magnesium hydroxide, so this should be magnesium. Okay, so in place of this M, it should be N. Okay, so it will be magnesium hydroxide. Okay, magnesium hydroxide, that is MgOH2. Okay, So it is magnesium hydroxide and aluminium hydroxide. So these are the two bases. That is, one is magnesium hydroxide. This is magnesium, okay, magnesium, magnesium hydroxide and aluminium hydroxide. So next, question number 8. The substances that react with acid to form salt and water is. So this question is from your neutralization reaction. So what is the neutralization reaction? The neutralization reaction is the reaction in which an acid reacts with a base to form salt and water. So that means the substance which will react with acid should be a base. And in the option you see, first is given litmus. So litmus is an indicator, so it will not react with acid. HCl is itself an acid, so litmus indicator will never react with acid to give salt and water. Okay, so litmus and phenolphthalein, these are indicators, and indicators will not react with acid to give salt, okay, to form salt. So the only thing that will react with acid to form salt and water is base, and out of the options given here, only sodium hydroxide, that is NaOH, is a base. Okay, so answer will be NaOH. Now question number 9. A substance which dissolves in water to give hydrogen ion as the only positively charged ion is called acid. Okay, and I think this question I have directly given you from your book. Okay, so the MCQ which are present in the exercises of your chapter number 5, there you already have this question. Okay, and that question is directly copied from the exercise of your book. Okay, and we know that only acid, when it is mixed with water or dissolved in water, we get hydrogen ions. Okay, so question number 10. Calcium is a metal and its oxide, calcium oxide, the answer is it will be basic in nature. Because why? Because again, when discussing the question answers of chapter number 5, I have also that video in my YouTube channel, so you can look at that. So when I have posted the video where I have discussed the question answers of chapter number 5, there I have already said you that all oxides and hydroxides of metals are base. Okay, or so all metals and hydroxides are base, and their nature will be basic. Okay, so they will be basic in nature, and all oxides and hydroxides, all oxides of non-metals will be acidic in nature. So the answer of this question, because calcium is a metal and oxide of all metals are basic in nature, so answer will be basic. Okay, number 11. Which of the following can be used to treat factory waste? So now you already know that factory waste contain acid, and to treat an acid we need a base. Okay, so what type of base we use? We use lime. Okay, and calcium hydroxide, what is the other name of calcium hydroxide? It is slaked lime. Okay, and out of the 4 given options, so out of the 4 options, only calcium hydroxide is a base, and it is also known as slaked lime. So therefore lime are used to treat the factory waste, acids of the factory waste. Okay, and the other name, the lime, is scientifically also or chemically also known as calcium hydroxide. Okay, so therefore the correct answer will be calcium hydroxide. Next, number 12. Which of the following cannot be used to treat stings of ants or bees? So here you see zinc carbonate, baking soda and soap. All these 3 options, it contains bases, and bases can be used to treat the sting of bees. But you see formic acid, so formic acid itself is an acid. Okay, and the stings of bees and ants contain formic acid. So if you use more formic acid to the stings of ants and bees, so your paining will be more. Okay, so it will pain more. So that means you should only use base, but formic acid is an acid. So which of the following it cannot be used? So which cannot be used? Formic acid cannot be used to treat stings of ant and bees. Okay, so we have to see the answer. Question is not which of the following can be used. The question is which of the following cannot be used. So what you cannot use out of the 4 options? Formic acid you cannot use. Okay. Number 13. Which of the following is not a physical property of sodium hydroxide? So this is a confusing question, because if you look at the option carefully, you will see that all these options are properties of bases. Okay, so all the 4 options that are given, these are physical properties of bases. But the only thing we have to see that sodium hydroxide, NaOH. Okay, so it is a strong base. Okay, and while discussing the question answers, the MCQs, I think that question number 10 of your MCQ that is given in the exercises of your chapter, there you will see that there is a question in which it is written that strong bases are completely soluble in water. Okay, so you have to remember that the strong bases like sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, these are, that is NaOH, KOH, these are completely soluble in base. Calcium hydroxide, okay, all these bases are soluble in water. Okay, so all strong bases like sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, all these strong bases are completely soluble in water. So option number 3, it is written that it is insoluble in water. So this is wrong for sodium hydroxide, because sodium hydroxide is a strong base and all strong bases are completely soluble in water. Okay, so now question number 14, this is directly given from your book that the solution of litmus in distilled water is mauve or purple in color. Okay, so mauve or purple in color, this is directly given in the chapter. If you look at the litmus portion, the portion of the chapter where it is discussed about litmus, so in that portion you will see that the solution of litmus is this in distilled water is mauve or purple in color. Okay, so it is directly given from the chapter. So now question number 15, what is an acid rain? Okay, so the answer can be different, or the way of writing the answer can be different for different students, but the main thing you have to write that in acid rain there will be some amount of mineral acids like sulfuric acid and nitric acid. Why? Because it is given in the chapter itself that you will see that in acid rain there will be small amount of sulfuric acid or nitric acid. Why this sulfuric acid or nitric acid is present? Because due to the pollution, in the polluted gases we have gases like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide. Okay, and when this sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide can mix with the water, okay, in the atmosphere, they will form sulfuric acid and nitric acid. Okay, and when it rains, this small amount of sulfuric acid and nitric acid which is present is mixed with this water, it will come down as rain. Okay, so it means during acid rain, the rain along with water, it contains some amount of sulfuric acid and nitric acid. Okay, and this type of rain is known as acid rain. Okay, so this information, it is given, already given in your book, so you can look it from there, and also you can see it, or you can make the note of it from this slide. Okay, so I think that is all for today's video. I have discussed the questions and answers of 15 MCQs, and such types of MCQs are very important for your exam, because such type of MCQs will really test your concept. So if you have understood the chapter very well, you will give the answers, and if you have understood the chapter very well, then these questions are very easy. Okay, so therefore I think most of you, if you try to do this, when you have tried to do these questions, you have done very well. But those whose concepts were not clear, or those who did not watch the videos carefully, I think they were not able to do the question answers properly. Okay, so whenever you watch the video, please your full concentration and try to clear your concept. Okay, and again I am making you the request here that please subscribe my channel. I think you have already seen the name and logo of my channel in the beginning of this video, so please subscribe my channel so that I can be posting you more such important videos of important question and answers, and also the videos of different chapters. Okay, so different concepts related to different chapters of your course, and these videos will be helpful for you, okay, for your exam also. Okay, so if you will be subscribing my channel, so you will be notified about every video that I keep on posting, which will be based on your course materials, your chapters. Okay, so please subscribe my channel. So that's all for today's class. Thank you.